Hi there. Somebody responded to me yesterday about the chemical fire in Moordrecht, and yes, it's true, you can smell it. There's this kind of oily, greasy barbecue smell in the air, and it's actually irritating my eyes a little bit. So, because the wind is going north at a very slow rate, so the wind went from Moordrecht to Dordrecht, Rotterdam, The Hague. So I hope people in Rotterdam are not suffering way much worse. At least we are close to the sea. We get a lot of wind. It's a chemical plant. It's near all these refineries and stuff like that. I hope they all go away. I really hate these type of industries. We all know, we can all, let's say, look it up. That is destroying life on Earth. These type of industries, we don't need them. And basically, the master of those industries is still the states, because there they're gonna go have Mr. Shimkus, who thinks that the Bible tells us what will happen next. And the Bible says that the world won't disappear or go away or have any turmoil comparable to the one that Noah faced, the floods, in the future, because God promised Noah that that would never happen again. A moron like that, a complete retard, complete idiot, a complete psychopath, is in charge of the Clean Air, supervising Clean Air Act, and of course is going to promote energy companies. But that's the nature, I guess. What you have is let's say, the gullible people, the religious people, are a prime target for the corporations to indoctrinate and let propaganda reign on, because they are easy to convince, because they believe in the Bible. Let's say, if you want to convince somebody, you have to know something about him, about his personal life or whatever his interests are. Well, with religious people, it's easy. You just look up the Bible, and you can find section after section of information that they probably have been consuming and have been embracing in the past, and that's you can just make up a story using that. It's like these people have a manual. It's called the Bible, and you can just with your NLP skills or with your psychology communication skills, you can completely manipulate them. You know how to dress, you know how to act, you know how to talk, and Mr. Shimkus actually managed to make up some biblical quotes that aren't in the Bible when he was testifying before Congress, which is really, that's beyond my vocabulary of being a traitor, because you might it's a double fuck over, because what you do is you take the dumb people that believe in the Bible, that don't have a mind of their own. Then you take their quotations and you use the number of them to convince other people. So you say, well, I have 50 million people that believe in the Bible that say that Noah heard from God that he would never destroy the earth again. And then you screw over. So that's of course treasonous, because it's nonsense, and you're using false arguments based on nothing to convince people that know scientific facts and that have been out there looking and measuring and doing all these things. But then you turn around and you make up extra quotes about and there will not be a flood and there will not be this, which are not even in the Bible. It's just made up. So you basically turn around to these religious people and say, well, you probably didn't read the Bible all that specifically, and you're probably not going to look up this quote, so I'll just make up a little bit more with the same weight of your stupidity, of your dumbness, of your ignorance. And it's really like that, because let's say it's a super dangerous thing to have a massive religion. And to be more clear about it, it's about mass communication, about long-range communication. It's actually been a conviction of mine that you should abolish long-range communication and long-range transportation since 1994, when I was in Asia and I saw what damage was being done by increased transportation and increased, let's say, dissemination of useless ideas to the countryside, like televisions in the middle of nowhere, where you get the idea you have to have a Mercedes-Benz. There's not even roads, that will give you the beautiful women, because that's what they sell this stuff like. People want beautiful women. If let's say, if you want to say neutralize marketing, you have to make sure that all women are beautiful. And then marketing is out of weapons. See. So anyway, but it's a very long held conviction. But that type of mass media allows you to create a combined with a Bible, which of course has a lot of authority from parents to, and it's basically ancient law. It's nothing weird about it. It's just ancient law which doesn't apply anymore at the modern day. We have modern day law. It's called common law. There's lawyers. They protect our laws. Those are the laws of today, and those might be the Bible of 2,000 years beyond if we're gonna live that long. But we're probably not. Anyway, that whole block of crazy people will then be pitted against another whole block of crazy people, which we call Muslims, which have a different book. And they are killing people in Egypt, Christians. They are killing Christians in Iraq. I heard firsthand because I know a Christian Iraqi. Here in Holland, I've been in Pakistan and I heard about murdering Christians in Pakistan as well by the Muslims. It's not all Muslims, but there's some of them. And before you know it, there's two groups fighting each other and dominating the whole situation. Like, let's say, the radical Israelis that don't want to give up their land, fighting the Palestinians that are basically don't have a choice because, well, Mr. Olmert and the Israelis have now clearly stated, or they haven't voluntarily done it, it's thanks to WikiLeaks, that they're planning to commit genocide on the Palestinians and the Lebanese on the short term, and they certainly don't want them to live a normal life. That's just not what Mr. Olmert thinks they deserve. So they're in a prison camp, they're kept on the edge of collapse. But you see, it's just so dangerous. It just makes me crazy. And then on top of that you get banking system that is completely cannibalistic. Banking people, they behave like there's a group of people having a rave on a cliff, in England or something, like one of these nice white cliffs, and every now and then a couple of the leaders, beautiful people that everybody looks at, they run towards the edge of the cliff, and then they stop, of course, but the people that have been following them and are now in a big frenzy running after them all run over the cliff. And then the beautiful people go back and they pick up all the stuff of the people that ran over the cliff, and they pretend they're even more beautiful and more rich and more wealthy. That's how bankers act. They kind of do an IPO of Facebook, Mr. Goldman Sachs. These people, they do an IPO of Facebook. They say, well, we are investing 50 billion and the Russians are investing. Oh, there's also Goldman Sachs, by the way, but they're housed in Russia and the Americans don't know that. And everybody has to step in and come in, and it has to go public, and Mr. Zuckerberg is not even agreeing with it, but it has to happen. And then they announce that they might sell the whole stuff without notice to anybody at any time. So yeah, go step in, this is really good stuff and we're all gonna invest in it. Yes, okay. And then let's say, okay, first it's 100% of the money of Goldman Sachs, it's lots of media hype. After a while it's 25%, 50% of the money of Goldman Sachs, and a lot of idiots, middle class people that want to commit suicide on the stock market. And then Goldman Sachs pulls out and sells off all the stocks that they have to other idiots that still want to get in. And these middle class people and everybody then, all these people on the cliff, they're now close to the edge and they see everybody running behind them. They have no choice, they have to go over the cliff. And that's where they're going, not helped by any banking system. It's complete insanity. That's I think that's a word. I guess for Mr. Shimkins it has been insanity for a long time. But it's just amazing. Let's just ban any financial or economical relationships with US just to neutralize that country, because it's so dangerous.